legal information
everybody out.
as legal advice. We never give or provide legal advice. We are not bar licensed attorneys. If you want a bar licensed attorney and you want legal advice, we suggest that you go see one. All the information that's discussed today is strictly for information and entertainment purposes only. Once again, we never give legal advice, but we do share all of the legal information that we can possibly share. Remember, we are not attorneys, we're not a law firm, and we're not a substitute for attorney. Anything discussed on this phone call today will never be substituted for bar licensed attorney's advice if you want that. So with that being said, I feel good enough. Larry, you okay with that short disclaimer?
Okay, Larry evidently did not come in under the...
he said yes.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
You go ahead and do what you're going to do, Jeff, and then...
okay. Well, by way of introduction, most of you have already heard from Jesse. Jesse has been in the foreclosure fighting field now for about 7 years, and in the credit card debt collection for about 5. Larry's been doing the credit card debt collection counteractions for the last 5 years, I believe, unless it's been a little bit longer than that, Larry. You can always correct me on that. And John he's kind of a landmark. He's been around forever. Now, John's been, I know it goes back at least 10 years that I know of. But he's been around in the debt collection and the fighting debt collections for at least 10 years that I'm aware of. So between the three of you, did one of you decide which one was going to lead off and start?
Well, it doesn't matter to me. I'm trying to help Larry. He says he can't find the darn stuff running around, so hold on.
Well,
let me give it to him.
John, why don't you start off? You there, John?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I need for you to speak up a little bit, please.
Okay.
Or
you
turn your volume up.
Okay. Well, thanks for the call. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to everyone. I think as much as I've been doing this for a long time, I really think each of us have different levels of expertise. I think that Larry has his expertise, and I really learned a lot from him. And the same with Jesse. He's really got an advanced knowledge and skill on the mortgage foreclosure and really judicial procedure. And I've learned quite a bit from those guys in the last couple of years. So I don't know what else to say. I mean, what do you guys want to lead off with? You want to talk about a particular subject?
Well, kind of, John, just touch on what you do because what together on the website. I think let's make an introduction of you and why we're here.
Okay.
We started a website, and just I'll take over for a few minutes, John, and just kind of give them an overall view of and an understanding of what we do. John's been around, like I said, he's an icon. He's been around forever, but John's specialty is in getting you bulletproofed, in essence, making you disappear off the grid. I'm sorry, I'm going to take this thing off speaker, so make sure you guys can hear me clearly. Anyway, John's expertise is basically getting yourself off the grid, protecting your assets, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he does a hell of a job, whether the system is, like I said, it's been hacked. I think I talked about this a month ago on our last call, Jeff. They actually hacked. Some attorneys got John's material, started selling it, and he wound up getting a $2.3 million judgment against him, against attorneys for using his material. So that tells you how good his material is in making you judgment-proof and bulletproof, hiding your assets, and not hiding it from IRS, but from creditors. Okay, so it's really got nothing to do with the IRS. It's just protecting what you have, with your family's assets. Personally, myself, I've been beating up on the foreclosures of David Stearns of the world that are finally out of business for quite some time. And same thing, helping the families keep their homes. We had a pretty big real estate business here in Central Florida and other locations. And we used the foreclosure, because that's how I got started way back 10 years ago, was stopping foreclosures rather than reinstating these loans. And Larry, same thing. Larry's been doing counteractive FDCPA, FCRA actions against these guys, the debt collectors and the credit card companies for years and years, and winning very successfully. So what come to pass was, after months and months of in early 2008, it was, of seeing all these guys out there offering these administrative remedies, all these God, I hate to call them, but it's a bunch of nonsense. remedies that are out there. Families getting hurt. People calling me. I paid so-and-so $5,000. I've paid so-and-so $3,000. I got thrown out of my head. One client said, I paid this guy $3,000 last week. I'm literally on the street today. It was 7 days later. It was incredible. Wouldn't return her phone call, wouldn't do anything. I got really sick and tired of that, and what I was doing is handling a select few. I have about 500 active cases that John, thank God, helps me every now and then. We work together every single day in the office with some of the paperwork. And I thought, we got to get this spread out far and wide, give something back to the people that they can use. It's simple, that's easy to understand, and it's affordable. And the problem that we've seen to date is it continues to run rampant out there, these people getting ripped off. And it mind boggles me where people will pay $5,000 to still have to handle their own entire work. Matter of fact, I had a subscriber email today, and I'm not going to name the other site, obviously, but it was like $900 to join and $20 a month. And it's another one of those administrative processes, get your houses free and clear, all this nonsense. And I actually have a very good friend of mine, longtime associate of mine, that actually used that system, paid $3,500 and lost 2 houses to the system. and he's willing to tell you it don't work. Because people seem to forget that if you're using these oddball processes out there, that people are getting big money and giving these poor homeowners high hopes. If you have a bad judge who doesn't give a rat's behind about anything, he's going to storm right through you and all that paperwork. As a matter of fact, I have a very good friend of mine for using that administrative process who is serving right now, as we speak, 10 years in jail. He just got sentenced a few months back, and they went and picked him up, and off he went. And I can verify this because if I already give this name out, I guarantee somebody on this phone is going to know him because he was out there pushing this administrative remedy with another gal. And from my understanding is she's in jail too, but he's in jail. So this kills me, Jeff, and it kills John. John's a very giving guy. As a matter of fact, John, I don't want to toot your whistle, but, there was a big 60 Minutes deal with homeless children due to these foreclosures, and I forget, what was the guy's name, John?
David Corfey.
Yeah, David. And this guy shows up in my office Monday. I'm like, John, what the heck? Where'd he come from? He was on our news. He was on 60 Minutes just Saturday. And now all of a sudden he's at my office. Well, John and his wife ran out, bought him a bunch of gift certificates, gave him some food, gave him some money, his kids are barely enough to wash or brush their teeth. This is ridiculous. The news totally underplayed this. So it goes, it goes to show you the kind of heart that we come from and the honesty. We don't want anything from the guy. We don't want, it's here, man, you need to help, and so in designing this whole thing, it took us a little over a year. And I said, we got to be able, number one, to give them something that works. Number two, they can afford. Number three, that'll actually pay them back. And I know it sounds like I'm asking for the world, but our system actually works. So, knowing John, working with John for 2 straight years, every single day, knowing his family. I met Larry through another friend of ours, a mutual friend, who's also very much active in the FDCPA, FCRA, et cetera, suits and teaches people how to do that. And I says, you know what, this is great. We're all local. We all can meet. We all can discuss cases. We can all do our research together. And I'm putting this together. This is my grand idea. I really need your guys' help and guidance on this so it'll come to pass. And sure, thank God it's come to pass. So, the way we did it is a small monthly membership, but it's not a big money up front. There's not something that we guarantee you this or guarantee. What we guarantee you is you're going to keep your home, you're going to stay in your home, you're going to stop debt collectors, and you're going to stop credit card companies. But the bonus is you get paid. That's the bonus, and people have a hard time understanding that. But our members, our active members, understand this, but you have to be proactive. So long story short, I'm going to cut it right there. I want you to, now that you have the understanding, is it helps you stop your foreclosure. It helps you stop credit cards. It helps you stop debt collectors, gets you paid. And now that you've gotten paid, you've stopped all that. Now you know how John's system falls into play, which in essence bulletproofs you from all judgment. So you have 2 choices. You can use John's system, implement it, walk away from everything and say, the hell with you guys. I don't care. Sue me. You can't get a penny. Doesn't matter. Or you can do what Larry and I and John do, which is have a little fun and make them pay. So when I do get the money, it goes and disappears so some other guy can't come and get it. So either way, it's a full system. And I'm telling you that if you were to try to replicate this, and Jeff, you know this because you've been involved in all this in the past, and a lot of people on this call know you're going to wind up paying $5,000, $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 for this. And we said we don't need it. We want the volume because the only way we're going to change this country and help these families in a mass is to make sure that we can make it affordable for everybody. But more than that we teach everybody how to get paid from these guys and how to put the hurt into them, because that's the only place that's going to put the hurt into them is in their pocketbooks, nowhere else. So with that being said, Larry, are you finally there?
I am here. One thing I'm not sure if you covered, Jesse, but you've been dealing with a lot of people's foreclosure issues. How many houses have your clients lost?
0.
Okay, that's a pretty
0.
good number.
And actually, one of my clients of a few years, Greg, is on this phone call because I heard him introduce himself. And he can vouch, and I'm sure Randy and several others are on this call.